A very good evening. You're watching News Tonight on Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Tina Jha. Let's begin with the top stories of the day. Weather Office predicts normal monsoon for the year. Rains to hit Kerala in May. Prospects of 97% rainfall for the country boosts expectations of higher farm and economic growth. All 5 accused, including Asima Nand, set free in 11-year-old Mecca Masjid blast case. NIA court dismisses case for lack of proof. BJP claims verdict proves hollowness of saffron terror theory. Asks Sonia and Rahul Gandhi to apologize to the country. Congress questions probe agencies. In the Katwa rape case, Supreme Court tells Jammu and Kashmir government to provide security to victims' family members and the council. All 8 accused plead not guilty and ask for a narco analysis test. With the second list of 82 people, BJP releases names of 154 candidates for Karnataka elections. Congress releases a list of 218 candidates for the 12th May election that will be notified on Tuesday for the 224-seat assembly. And Prime Minister Modi leaves for Sweden to attend India-Nordic Summit. Swedish Prime Minister praises India's role on world stage. Prime Ministerial talks to focus on defence, investments and clean energy. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Monday left for a 5-day visit to Sweden and the UK, where he will attend the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. Before embarking on his visit, the Prime Minister said he was looking forward to deepening the bilateral engagement with both the countries in a number of areas that include trade, investment and clean energy. In the first leg of his visit, Modi will reach Sweden's capital Stockholm, where he will hold extensive talks with Prime Minister Stefan Löfven. He will also interact with top business leaders of both countries and chart out a future roadmap of cooperation in sectors like trade and investment, science and technology, clean energy and smart cities. India and Sweden will also jointly organize the India-Nordic Summit in Stockholm on Tuesday. The summit is slated to be attended by the Prime Ministers of Finland, Norway, Denmark and Iceland. During his visit, Modi is also expected to call on the Swedish king. Well, Swedish Prime Minister Stefan Löfven has said Prime Minister Modi's visit to Sweden presents a great opportunity to strengthen relations between the two countries. In a Times of India blog, he wrote that India has influenced Sweden in many ways. He said that the rise of modern India has affected Sweden in multiple and profound ways. He added and said, in my view, the Prime Minister's visit will give great opportunity to strengthen this partnership, not least within the field of innovation, the key to future growth, jobs and sustainability for both our countries. The Indian government is seeking to foster innovation, which complements my government's objective of deepening Swedish innovation links globally, he added. And our Foreign Affairs editor, Akhilesh Suman, is joining us on the phone line from London. He's there to attend the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. Akhilesh, a very good evening. Take us through the Prime Minister's itinerary tomorrow in Sweden.
Yeah, actually, Tina, you know that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is reaching tonight, and then he will have an extensive talk with all the 5 Nordic countries tomorrow. And again, he will have one-to-one bilateral meeting with all the Nordic countries also. Other than he will talk to the King of Sweden separately. So this is one major itinerary that he is having in his mind and that is planned. Other than that, he is also meeting the Indian community people there, like Prime Minister does everywhere he goes. He talks to the Indian community and it gives a boost, not only that Indian community gets a respect in the country, they also become ambassadors of the country and they get confidence to live there. So in that way, Prime Minister's program is two-pronged. One prong is talking to the head of states and other is talking to the community people so that the relationship between Indian and the Swedish Nordic nations can gel together. And you know that Nordic nations are very developed in technology, very developed in innovation, and they have very good financial stability also. And they want to invest, and India also wants them to invest in our country. So the whole thing that this is the first time that Prime Minister is talking to all the Nordic countries together, and it will also give us good support when we want our international system to be reformed, even Security Council to be reformed, and there are so many reforms in the multilateral forum. So in that way, Nordic country has influence on many countries in the world, like, you know, that there are so many developing countries who have relations with the Nordic country, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi will tap this energy of Nordic countries there once he is in Sweden. Yeah.
All right, Akhilesh. And also, since you're in London, let's also talk about the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. You know, Akhilesh, since in fact, after 2009, Prime Minister Modi is the first Indian Prime Minister to attend this meeting. What is the significance of his going to London and the significance of the entire visit?
Yeah, you know that after Brexit, there has been a lot of changes in Europe, and also Britain is looking forward that it should get another market. I know that India also has an interest in that, because the Commonwealth is now a conglomeration of 52 nations. It was virtually 53 nations, but Maldives is out of it. So now 52 nations, and the configuration of all the nations are also very interesting. They are very developed countries, some are the developing countries, and some are very least countries. But the only feature that is gelling together is that they had been under British Empire long ago, and after they got independence, every country decided their own fate. But they have the emotional bonding, and Britain, after coming out of Brexit, wants to tap this connection, this old connection. And if India is the largest democracy in this conglomeration, India will have a special place. So when Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be talking to Theresa May, the Prime Minister of Britain, they will chalk out some program that how this relationship has to be developed in a way that gives boost to the democracy all over the world, and also to raise the voice of developing countries and least developed countries. And also it will help India's ambition in reforming the UN system. So it is also a very ambitious program, and now Prime Minister once has decided that he will go to the Commonwealth nations heads of government meet. I think this is going to be very fruitful, because India is very, very particular about the reform in UN system. And this meeting will help that how future course of action can be charted out. Tina.
All right, Akhilesh, many thanks for joining us and giving us those details. We'll keep coming back to you for more updates on the Prime Minister's two-nation visit. Back home, 5 accused in the 2007 Mecca Masjid blast case, including Swami Asimanand, have been acquitted by a special NIA court in Hyderabad. The court struck down the case, citing lack of evidence as the reason. 9 people were killed and 58 people injured in the blast at the Mecca Masjid on the 18th of May 2007. The special NIA court had concluded the trial last week. The case was initially investigated by local police, after which it was transferred to the CBI. The central agency filed a charge sheet. Later, the National Investigation Agency took over the case from the CBI in 2011. 10 people, including Swami Asimanand, were named accused in the case, while 5 were arrested and faced trial. Meanwhile, after delivering the verdict, the special NIA judge resigned, citing personal reasons.
आज कांग्रेस पार्टी में अगर तिल मात्र का भी आत्मीयता है इस देश के लिए, अगर इस देश को तिल मात्र के लिए भी वो अपना मानती है, तो आज कोई और नहीं, तत्कालीन कांग्रेस अध्यक्षा सोनिया गांधी जी और वर्तमान अध्यक्ष श्री राहुल गांधी जी, इन दोनों को बाहर आके क्षमा याचना करना चाहिए।
कई सारे केसेस में जिस तरह से सरकार उनका उपयोग कर रही है विपक्ष को डराने के लिए, धमकाने के लिए, झूठ को सच करने के लिए, सच को झूठ करने के लिए, ये तमाम चीज़ें आज से नहीं, जब से नई सरकार 4 साल से आई है, हर केस में ऐसा होता चला जा रहा है। इसलिए आज अल्टीमेटली अब लोगों को जो विश्वास रहा है वो विश्वास न्यायालय पे रहा है।
The Supreme Court on Monday dismissed a PIL challenging the perks and travel allowances given to former parliamentarians. The judgment came on a plea filed by an NGO that had approached the apex court challenging the Allahabad High Court order, which dismissed its petition that pension and other perks being given to MPs even after demitting office were contrary to Article 14 of the Constitution, guaranteeing the right to equality. The court agreed with the finding of the Allahabad High Court that Parliament is competent to legislate on pensions for ex-MPs, and it has the power to prescribe any condition subject to which the pension may be paid. And the Supreme Court sought the state government's response in the petition asking for the transfer of Kathua case outside Jammu and Kashmir. The court has also asked to provide security to the victims' family members with their lawyer and a friend assisting them in pursuing the case.
The Supreme Court on Monday heard two separate petitions in the Kathua rape and murder case. The court directed the Jammu and Kashmir government to provide security to the family of the victim, their lawyer and a family friend assisting them in prosecuting the case. The apex court also took note of a petition of the victim's father seeking transfer of the trial of the case from Kathua, preferably to Chandigarh, and sought response of the state government. The next hearing on the case will be on April 27th.
My protection, my colleagues' protection and the protection of victims' family. So on that count, we are very much satisfied that the Honorable Supreme Court has taken care of it. Fair trial वहाँ नहीं हो पाएगी, जिस तरह से हम सब लोगों ने देखा कैसे क्राइम ब्रांच की टीम को प्रिवेंट किया गया, कैसे हर्डल्स क्रिएट की गई.
हक तभी मिलेगा लोगों को जब ये केस CBI के हवाले हो, इसकी बाकायदा इंक्वायरी हो और फिर जिस कोर्ट में भेजना चाहे सुप्रीम कोर्ट भेज सकती है. केस की पूरी जो देख रेख है सुप्रीम कोर्ट को करना चाहिए.
Meanwhile, the case trial started on Monday at the Kathua Sessions Court. All the 8 arrested accused, including a juvenile, were produced before the Kathua CJM. The court directed that copies of the charge sheet be given to all the accused, even as it fixed April 28th as the next date of hearing. Claiming to be innocent, the accused have demanded a narco test.
So the Honorable Court has ordered the crime branch to provide complete sets and complete copies of the challan by tomorrow. Next date of hearing is April 28, and the accused also requested before the Honorable Court that a narco test should be done, and they are ready for this narco test.
There is a huge outrage among people against Kathua gang rape case.
And it has saddened us deeply that wearing black coats, lawyers in Jammu Kashmir and Kathua Bar Association have indulged in illegal activities. They have obstructed justice.
Meanwhile, the Jammu High Court Bar Association resumed work on Monday after staying away from courts for 12 days in support of their various demands, including handing over the Kathua rape and murder case to the CBI. Vipin Chauhan's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
The BJP on Monday announced its candidates for 82 more seats for the Karnataka Assembly polls, taking the total number of seats for which it has declared its nominees to 154. The BJP released its second list of candidates a day after its Central Election Committee met to finalize the names of its candidates for the high-stakes election. The BJP had declared its first list of 72 candidates on the 8th of April that included its CM candidate B.S. Yediyurappa and senior leaders K.S. Ishwarappa and Jagdish Shettar. H.D. Devagowda-led JDS is the third major player in the contest. The BJP is seeking to come back to power in the state, dislodging the Congress. Polls for the 224-member assembly are scheduled to be held on the 12th of May. The ticket distribution in Karnataka has caused resentment in the Congress. Congress workers have protested at many places in the party offices of the state, while the state leaders are dissatisfied over the ticket distribution. Senior party leader K. Rahman Khan has expressed his unhappiness with the Chief Minister K. Siddaramaiah. On Sunday, the party had released the list of 218 candidates for the Karnataka elections. It has not given tickets to 12 sitting MLAs. There are 15 female candidates in the list. It also includes the names of 7 JDS rebels.
उनको पावर दिया गया है और उनको ये भी मालूम नहीं है कि जो सीनियर्स हैं, एक्सपीरियंस है, उनसे कैसे बिहेव किया जाए. अब आ गए हैं क्या करने, पार्टी की सिस्टम अब वैसा होने जा रही है, मगर इससे पार्टी को बहुत नुकसान होगा. ये ऐसा एटीट्यूड जो स्टेट लीडर्स की है, उसको अगर हाईकमांड अगर कंट्रोल नहीं की, हाईकमांड अगर पार्टी की स्टेट की लीडरशिप कुछ एक बैलेंस सीनियर और दूसरे जो भी कैडर हैं उनको ले जाने के अगर नहीं दे तो मुश्किल पार्टी को ही होगी.
Time for a short break. News and updates will continue on the other side.
On this edition of India's World, we will analyze the political situation in Sri Lanka.
Vikramasinghe and Maithripala Sirisena, they should have been working together to execute the Yaha Palayana, that is good governance, but that is not happening.
The unity government stays, but let us keep our fingers crossed as to how long they continue.
Pakistan's deposed Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif on Friday became ineligible to hold public office for life.
This particular article don't prescribe any time limit of disqualification. So the Pandora's box is now open. If for any reason a minister, a prime minister, a legislator is declared that he is not Sadiq and Amin, then he goes. And this is an instrument now in the hands of the Pakistani judiciary and the Pakistani army.
Rabindranath Tagore was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1913 for his book Gitanjali. In 1950, he composed the music and lyrics for India's national anthem Jana Gana Mana. And when Bangladesh became independent in 1971, they chose Tagore's song Amar Shonar Bangla as its national anthem. Tagore's life and works have made him a cultural icon, studied the world over, even into the 21st century.
Welcome back. You're watching News Tonight. In good news for the farmers who mainly depend on monsoon, the country is likely to receive normal monsoon rainfall this year. The Meteorological Department on Monday predicted normal rainfall this year. It said monsoon will be 97% of the long period average, which is normal for the season. The Met Department further said there would be good distribution of rainfall across the country. Monsoon is expected to arrive first in Kerala by the 15th of May. The monsoon is considered normal if the average rainfall is between 96 to 104% of long period average. Last year, the country as a whole received rainfall that was 95% of its long period average.
मौसम विभाग ने ये इस साल का मानसून को 57% ऑल इंडिया लेवल 97% ऑल इंडिया लेवल पे आकलन किया है. इसका मॉडल एरर है ±5% और हमारा पूरा विश्वास है डेफिसिट मानसून इंडिया एक्सपीरियंस नहीं करेगी और इसका जो सेकंड असेसमेंट है हम जून में इशू करेंगे. एंड मानसून ऑनसेट केरला का जो आगमन होता है जो वहां से दस्तक दे के पूरा इंडिया में मानसून कवर करता है उसकी जो फोरकास्ट है मिडिल ऑफ मे में इशू करेंगे.
Inflation based on wholesale prices eased marginally to 2.47% in March on cheaper food articles, especially pulses and vegetables. On the basis of wholesale price index, inflation was 2.48% in February and 5.11% in March last year. According to a government data released on Monday, food articles showed deflation at 0.29% in March as against a 0.88% inflation in the preceding month. Inflation in fuel and power basket, however, rose to 4.70% in March from 3.81% in the previous month. The first tranche of sovereign gold bonds for the current fiscal was launched on Monday. These bonds will offer 2.5% annual interest to investors. Bonds will be issued to eligible applicants on the 4th of May.
The first tranche of sovereign gold bonds for the current fiscal was launched on Monday. Applications will be accepted till April 20th for the scheme, under which bonds are denominated in units of 1 gram of gold. Minimum investment is 1 gram with a maximum limit of subscription of 500 grams per person per fiscal.
Interest in gold should increase looking to the international conditions. Of course, the gold has a direct nexus with the international position. In case there is a peace, there is a calm and everything is fine, then people do not have much interest in the gold. But if there is some disturbance which is going on and which is likely to happen, then people do start making investment in the gold. So looking to this fact, I believe that this time there should be a much better response in the gold scheme and people can earn a lot of money in case they invest in the sovereign gold scheme of this government.
While the interest rate is taxable, investors have been exempted from any tax on capital gains from redemption of such gold bonds. The Sovereign Gold Bond, Gold Monetization Scheme and Indian Gold Coin were launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in 2015 as the government wanted to discourage gold imports and curb its damaging impact on trade balance. Kriti Mishra, Rajya Sabha TV.
Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu on Monday addressed management students at the 9th convocation at IIM Shillong. Addressing students, he said it is important to adhere to values of honesty and integrity. Meghalaya Governor Ganga Prasad was also present at the occasion.
Addressing management students at the convocation of IIM Shillong, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu said complete degeneration of values and absence of fear of law were obviously leading to deviant and crooked behavior among the people. Reminding students about the 7 sins mentioned by Mahatma Gandhi, he told the students it was important to adhere to values of honesty, integrity and truthfulness.
The GST is such a far-reaching transformational reform that is going to change the face of Indian economy, business. After some years, you will come to know the GST will be doing wonders and it will really enhance the economy of the country. Once the economy improves, the living standards of the people also will improve, provided if the government follows correct economic policies.
The Vice President also advised students to never forget that they will not only impact the lives of people in their organizations, but also the lives of many others. Stating that qualities like gratitude, empathy and concern for fellow human beings are missing in the modern world, he said one must develop an attitude of caring and sharing.
The absence of fear of law, obviously leading to deviant and crooked behavior among the people. Therefore, it is important to adhere to values of honesty, integrity, truthfulness, and adopt the best practices. Corporate ethics should not be violated at all.
The Vice President also told future managers that the quality of product, efficient service, and ethical business practices are the hallmark of a positive global brand. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And on to some diplomatic news now. China has said it wants to stick to the right path of bilateral ties with India and wants to explore new areas for cooperation. China's Foreign Ministry spokesperson Hua Chunyin made these remarks during a press conference and said China is trying to ensure steady and sound relationship with India. After last year's Doklam standoff, India and China have stepped up dialogues at various levels to reset the ties. China's Foreign Ministry said that this year, Indo-China relations have seen new progress and all-round cooperation as well. This comes after a meeting was held between National Security Advisor Ajit Doval and Director of China's Foreign Affairs Commission Yang Jiechi on the 13th of April. According to China, officials from the two foreign ministries also met. And that's it from us in this bulletin. Thanks for your time.